everybody. Welcome. Today is 4:20. This is the Underwriting Hour. Got some people hopping in here, so give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay. All right.
Pocket shots, mate.
Now you want just a time more.
Okay. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Ricky, let me look at that one. I don't know who's on Facebook, but yo, what's good, whoever you are. Join the Zoom if you wanna chat it up. Having a great day. It only tells me you're a Facebook user, don't know who you are, but I hope you're having a great day as well. Let's see here. All right. I'm looking at one in Utah right now, so and then I'll get to everybody else's. 1 second here. Ricky, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, what's up?
Okay, so what's going on with this one? Anything special, particular about it, as far as information, what kind of work it needs, etc.
What I just threw up?
Yeah, it's in Utah, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, is there anything that you'd like for me to know?
So this one is
Oh, that's the referral. That's NL.
yeah, it's a referral.
Is
It's
this
an
different?
8.5. So the bathroom was the basement was finished to add a 3.1.
Isn't this the guy that wants like 800,000?
It is, but on the referral, he still got our offer on the table,
Okay.
and he was asking him numbers. Listen, so I'm gonna give him numbers.
Okay. So he wants 800,000, and it's clear here that from a really quick glance, nothing's even come remotely close.
But it is an 8.5 compared to, I mean, you see online, I think it has the 4.
Well, right now I have no filters on this. So this is anything sold in the last year. That's a period. So I doubt he's the only one that's had an 8.5.
It's just on his, he was high, and then when we started talking numbers, he was coming down, and we got really close. So I'm hoping this one follows the same discussion.
Well, I mean, so if we're looking at sold, okay.
And I think we did the ARV on it, gave him some prelim numbers before, but he keeps asking for an offer and a contract, so we're gonna give it to him.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this is a half-mile radius. I mean, I can't really go out any farther than that. And it's telling me, hey, let's see. I mean, this is, yeah, I remember looking at this. Well, it's interesting because this thing's a piece of trash. So, I mean, he wants 8. I mean, can we list it for him, or? I mean, so he's an 8.5. I mean, what are these? These are, and what's the square footage on? Let me see. Did he tell you what he thinks the square footage is?
4,000.
Okay. Okay, so he thinks this is
4,000 plus.
Didn't he list it? Yeah, so he listed it for 475. So I mean, yeah, you know. And didn't you tell me that he's done work since these photos? Didn't you ask him that? Or no?
No, I think those photos are current.
So,
But I think there's actually a kitchen in the basement. They said it has a living room and a kitchen, so maybe that's what that is.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's all well and good. That's about a dime a dozen in Utah. It's very dated. I mean, so I would definitely start in the range of like 525. Give him a wider one, and just go up from there. I don't have a max offer yet. I mean, I would verify that he's put any work into it. I would also tell him, if you would like, let me see if I can save this for you and send it to you. Save. Let me see. There is a way for me to export this list to you.
We would list it 2 and 1. Is that what we said?
See if you can get that message. Okay.
John,
Oh, hey Nate, what's going on?
dude, so a lot of these calls, I'm sure people are like, bringing you deals and you have questions, right? Like about what's going on, like the condition and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I created a form. That's all the questions that someone needs to ask. Seller, so they can present you and then have like all the right information, okay?
Okay.
So let me get that out. And I want you to share with everybody right now, just so they can use it and they can see exactly what it looks like. All right.
Okay.
So for people that are inside our 99 all-in-one calling program, this form is this is included. Too. So let me I mean, it's happening a lot where they bring you something and you're like, you ask them questions and then they don't know.
Yeah, we have some hypothetical, and actually somebody did say, oh, Marco, you're in here. Okay, cool.
Here, I put it in the chat. Pull that up real quick and share your screen, and I'll walk everyone through it.
Cool. One second here. Okay.
All right.
Can you see that or no?
Yeah. So all right. So make it. Yeah, that's fine. Now let's go through this really quick. So this cash form, this is if you're going to partner with us on the deal. We want you to submit this information. So when we get the property that you're working on the deal, and once you get the seller to sign, this is the information we'll need to be able to make a good decision on if we have not heard about this deal before then. So you guys also need to fill this information out so you know exactly the right questions you would ask a seller if you're going to buy their house and flip it, wholesale it, anything, right? Because if you're going to wholesale it, the buyer is going to want to know this, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I'll just read through it. It's kind of long, but this is all the information you need in order to ask a seller. So you talk to the seller, and I'll just go through and just scroll for me.
Okay.
Just says the homeowner, obviously you get their name. The next question is get their best callback number, and if they give you that number, ask them for another one. If you can't reach them there, their email. So the next thing is property address, pretty simple. Scroll down. So the next one is the home listed? And if it is listed, ask them when it will expire. Is this a single family, multifamily? You got to know that. Scroll down. Who's on the deed? scroll down. We, on this form, you ask the person straight up, like, what's the lowest you would take if I was able to do an all cash offer. Then you mark what financial, or what's the reason for them selling. What was the year the house was built? If it is older than 1970, you want to ask them if the electrical breaker panel has been updated. And this is the good thing about this is like, as a new investor, even myself, sometimes I just ask a seller, like, what's the condition of the house? And they say, it's great. And I say, okay, great. And then I kind of leave it at that. This thing makes you ask them the question so you know exactly the condition of the house and what you're getting into. So you ask, is it wood frame or is it block? Is it on sewer, septic? Scroll down.
Sorry, I was trying to fix something because someone told me that they can't see our screen. So let me see if I can fix it really fast. Sorry.
They can't see it on
There we go.
StreamYard or what?
Yeah, on StreamYard. I fixed it. All right. Thank you for the feedback. Sorry. All right, scroll down. Sewer, septic.
So sewer, septic, wood frame, block, and then how many bedrooms, square footage, property condition, any liens. Scroll down. You want to ask them how the flooring is in the kitchen, bath, hallways, foyer, because you can stop right there. A lot of people are going to be like, yeah, I've done the flooring, and they'll probably have done it in like one bedroom. So you want to ask them, like, where in the house have you got new flooring? You want to ask them about the countertops, the carpets, versus what type of the condition of the carpets. Next is, what is the condition of the tile? What are the condition of the walls? Is the foundation sinking? Any issues, cracking? How's the plumbing? Are there any issues with plumbing? What's the age of the roof? Are you current on your mortgage? How much do you still own on your mortgage? Who lives in the property? If it's a rental, how much do you rent it out for? And how quickly do you need to close? So those are, I just rattle them off, but those are the real questions you need to ask a seller so you can gauge what you're working with. Then at this last part, you determine the ARV. You find out what the repair amount is, and you probably have a great idea after asking those questions. You put your wholesale fee in there and what you're trying to make, and then you, from that point, you know what your max allowable offer is, because you can put it in the calculator and it will take everything into account. So if you're in our all-in-one coaching program, the close is super simple. You just email this link to the seller, and then you walk them through signing it. They sign it, and then we'll sign it. And then that's why we need this form submitted if you're going to do this, because we need to look at the deal and make a decision. Then go up a little bit, Sean, where it says next step. So these are after you get the house, you've asked these questions and you've agreed on a price with the seller. These are the last two things you want to read, where it says next steps. So scroll down a little bit. So you want to, a lot of people wait on pictures and they wait like, oh, let me go see the house. Like, honestly, if you ask these questions, you're going to get a good idea. And I personally don't think you need the pictures until you sign the paperwork. You can, but sometimes a seller will, take 3 or 4 days to get you pictures, and then someone else like me will lock them up without pictures, and then you lost your deal. So what this says is, this is the next step for the homeowner. In order for your property to sell super quick, the next step is very important. We need pictures of the house within 24, 48 hours. Take pictures with your smartphone. If you do not have a smartphone, borrow it from a friend. We need pictures of everything in the house inside out. We need multiple pictures. And please email those to Sean at Offer on Homes. Okay, so we need pictures. And then the last step, you tell the seller, we just, part of getting the property sold is I need pictures. The next step will be an inspector contractor will go out and get estimates on repairs. We need to be able to access the property. What is the lockbox code? Are your tenants occupying the property? Who is the contact person to allow us in? And what is their phone number? What are the best times, days? So you're just asking them when we can go see it. Once we get this form, we're ready to go. We have everything we need. And then you can put your information in so we can pay you out once the deal closes. Then we got the dispo process. But you have them sign, we'll look at the sheet, and we'll determine if it's a deal or not. And but you have these calls with Scott and Sean every day to, instead of just fill this out and send to us and hope it's a deal, we can direct you. But this is an outline on how to get, how to talk to sellers and get a deal without like a script and sales training. Like, this is as basic as it gets, and it honestly doesn't need to get harder than this either. Just talk to people, ask them questions, make them an offer, send them a contract, and use these calls as help.
Perfect. Well, this is great. So how do they get here to job form?
If they're in the all-in-one coaching program, calling program, they get it inside the blueprint and in the training portal.
Okay.
If they're not, if you want this and you're not in the program, sign up. It's only $99 a month. It's the cheapest thing you'll ever do.
In real estate.
Yeah, it's a deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right. And if they do want to join the all-in-one, how do we get them there?
It's in the Discord channel in the mentorship part.
Okay.
It's also you can get it on a landing page. I mean, there's a lot of ways. You can message us.
Is it on our Facebook group somewhere? Can we search that?
It is not, but I can put it on there.
Okay.
I'm honestly not trying to market it too much because we want like serious people in there. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. This is true. So, but it's in the Discord channel under, where is it now?
Scroll down. It's under mentorship and coaching. So click on the mentorship coaching one.
Boom.
And then at the very top, there's the two programs. We have, scroll down a little bit. So this is the higher level, like the bigger investment where it's like we teach you how to do the whole business. And then you scroll down, 99 is just, well, let's get you a freaking deal.
Click the link. Boom. Hold up. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I do want to go there.
And this breaks down like what you're going to get and everything.
So yeah, just take a peek at it, if you know, and then sign up, baby. Come down here and sign up. All right, cool. So that's that. And yeah, guys,
I wanted to show you this in case, Sean, you have a lot of people who come on this call that are like, yeah, they have all these, I guess like you're talking to them about a property and they could just fill, if they don't have all this information to ask you, like tell you what's going on with the property, like they should get it, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And guys, doesn't matter if you're in this program or not. If you don't have the answer to these questions, I mean, good luck.
You can't really even come up with a max allowable offer if you don't know the condition of the house.
Yeah, I mean, you at that point you're just making low offers that are, likely very uncompetitive, and that's great. If you can get a low hanging fruit, more power to you. But if you want to make, do more than one deal a month or one deal a year, these are questions that anybody's going to ask them. So you got to have these questions answered.
Because when you go to dispo this stuff, these are the questions the buyers want to know. Like, I'm not buying anything unless I know about the house.
Exactly. And if you say, I don't know this and I don't know that, well, you've just reduced your credibility by a lot. And now that buyer, if they do want to work with you, they're gonna drag you through the mud because you don't know nothing about the house. So they're going to say, hey, well, you didn't answer any of the questions, so I have a lot more risk. I don't know any of these answers, so I got to be here. So
a lot of wholesalers, they think just because they can lock someone up, they got a deal. It's like, you're honestly just wasting time unless you have a deal, with asking the right questions, getting the contract signed. But anyway, yeah, Sean, I was just trying to help you out with that.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, Marco, you're in here somewhere, aren't you, Marco? You had a property and you filled out our job form. Did you fill that job form out from? Because
yeah, what's up, man? I guess I must have saw it somewhere.
Okay.
And yeah, I filled it out. Yeah.
Because
I got a couple yesterday. This one I'm gonna try to call back here in a bit.
Okay. Well, we can look at this.
Is it? Did you fill out the job form that we're showing right now, or was it a different one?
No, it was a different one. I don't.
You probably found that one on.
Oh no, that was when you posted it in the Discord.
Okay, that's okay. But yeah, this is the one you're gonna want to use.
Okay.
This one is like to take it all the way, but you can use it anyway. You can still use it.
So do you?
Yeah, it's the one that you posted in the all-in-one calling program channel. If you click on that link, it takes you to a different one that you're showing right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Here, share your screen. So, where is it, Marco?
So go to the all-in-one and then your job form link, that one right there.
Oh yeah, dang, I gotta take that off because that's an older one.
Okay, that's what I did.
Hey, but good job. Let's be resourceful. So
I'm just trying to think with the one that I've shown right there, the Invest Drive Cash Offer one. I'm not sure if you submit that.
When Scott hit me up, he responded to it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But we're gonna start using this other one.
No, yeah, that's fine. I'm just.
Gotcha. Okay, because
Start using that one.
all right, cool. Let's look at it. So she said, what is it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
she was kind of straight to it. She was a realtor, but she is a landlord. She has a couple properties. This is the only one she was wanting to sell. It's a condo though. Tenant's about to move out. She's having troubles with them. She just wants to get rid of it. So she's kind of like stern with her price. I got her to. She initially said, I think she said 270, and then I got her to say like 230. And I didn't ever give her my number. I looked at it after the fact, and I don't know, it's kind of high, I think, still. So
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, do you have what you believe is to be an ARV on there?
So I mean, I'm not good on really doing numbers when it comes to rentals. I mean, definitely flips. I mean, that's basically there's some as is sells for 228 that I saw.
Right.
That were as is.
Henderson's even
But there was nothing that I was seeing they were gauging that off of either. I don't even know if it was an investor or what,
Right. So she's a real estate agent. Yeah. That's usually, real estate agents, like, why would you sell it for cash, right?
Well, she said she's going to put it on the market. She wants to sell it quick if she can. Like, that's why she kept talking with me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say we've never bought anything from an agent. I think we have, but it was because
Well, that's just like her profession, but like
right.
It's her personal property.
Just saying it's difficult. So she said 270, and you're saying these were the as-is ones that you
saw. Well, she said she got down to like 230 is kind of her bottom line.
Right. Well, I mean, it looks like that's pretty much exactly what they're selling for. So, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. As is. But I don't know what to gauge it off of unless it's a rental or something,
Yeah, I mean, we could play with the rental numbers, but even a buy and hold investor, I mean, they still want a discount, right? Even if the numbers, because they're just like, well, shoot, if I pay full price, like, what's, you can just go on market, you can go on market and do it, right? I mean, that's kind of the ego thing. So, I mean, did you get was she willing to share photos possibly, or?
Yeah, I didn't really ask her for the photos.
It's not a big
deal. I just kind of got her motivation and timeline, and
because she's having.
I got as much condition on it. She said it's still rent ready. Like she's like you could put in maybe. I mean, but that's what they're saying. So
yeah, because
about 10 grand. But she said it's not bad condition. It's just if anything outdated. Definitely not flip. Renovated status, but it's rental.
So this one just sold. When did this sell? These are 8 years newer than hers, which doesn't make sense. It looks like it's in the exact same complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one sold 2 months ago, right? So these are the exact same square footage and everything as hers. Looks like hers may be a corner, which I mean is slightly more appealing on the ground level, but it's not like gonna add that much. So yeah, I mean, if you couldn't, I guess we could look at the numbers.
I mean, there's really no flip comps, other than these as is. So it's hard to.
Right. So do you know what it would rent for?
I think she told me.
You said 230. That's your. Most people who. I don't know. People who buy and hold, I would say they probably don't use cash. So there's going to be financing, right? They get 25% down, usually 30 years. Right now, we're creeping up to 6% on secondary properties for people like income generating properties. Oh, shoot. Hold on. So let's see. What was the 2737? Cantillon Lane, Henderson. 222. So we're looking at 1,600. Be a little conservative. Sorry, 1,600. Monthly operating. I mean, you probably. I mean, $300 would. Basically, you'd say property taxes at the end of the year divided by 12, probably come out to be around 300. Occupancy rate. I mean, I wouldn't run it on at least 95%. A lot of other investors might be more conservative, run it with an 85% occupancy rate, whatever the case. Let's say 8% management fee, could be higher. Closing costs are probably $2,500, and she said $10K to get a rent ready. So if they borrow $230, put $25 down, so they're really borrowing $172. The cash on cash return for this is 1%.
Yeah.
So that would be trash.
Yeah.
So the question is what number makes sense, right? You could probably get away with a 6% cash on cash. I mean, at least so. I mean, this is not leaving any real room for you to make a fee on it, right? But if you had this around 70, and that's bare minimum, right? But there are a lot of hungry people right now that 7% cash on cash, they can park their money there and ride depreciation and bank on appreciation. This is a seemingly decent deal. So, but she's not in that world, right? So that's why, you gotta be able to somewhat run the numbers on the fly and call them out right there and then. You have them captivated, just like, well, where's the appeal, right? I'm an investor. I'm looking to buy this, keep this as a rental, right? If you want to run that spiel, like, why am I paying for that? Like, what's, so that's those.
I kind of asked some of those questions, but then she just threw back in the, but
yeah, because she's trying to make the most. So unfortunately, at that point,
well, it's not like she's gonna invest it either way.
Yeah,
she's kind of like if you were to give my, and I know I could get up there.
So
I was looking really quick on those comps, but I wasn't looking on the rental numbers. But
yeah. So I mean, obviously the next move there as well. I mean, are you open to taking some now, some later? And if the answer is no, then you're pretty much dead in the water. She's an agent, right? So you're not going to list it
for sure. No problem. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
No, I appreciate you.
You can answer anything I didn't see.
Yeah. I mean, so unfortunately with those people, that's just the way that goes. But
no, that's cool. I get it. No problem. Yeah, and I don't even think there is investors that bought the other ones, like those as-is ones for $230.
Really? Yeah, those are likely.
I would say they're probably retail buyers.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Got you. Cool. Appreciate that. Damon, you said.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Damon, you said you had some leads from prior lists I pulled, but the sellers are asking too much for the property and are more. Okay. Well, I don't even think Damon's in here anymore, but they're interested in seller finance. Well, let's see. There he is. He must have heard me. Damon, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey, Damon. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. What's going on?
I talked to a couple of sellers that's just from a list I had pulled previously. And the only thing is that, based on the numbers I looked at, I think they're asking too much. But a couple of them are interested in some type of creative financing deal.
Okay. Well, so in order to really, because, for lack of a better term, speaking hypotheticals about that is tough, because what I really need is a mortgage statement if they have one, right? If they don't have any lending. So the mortgage statement would tell me the day of the loan, when it's due, the amortization, the the PITI, the primary, the insurance taxes, and interest. So I need all that information. I need the type of loan that it is. So basically a mortgage statement from somebody, right? So they have to first be able to produce that, or at least the information, so that I can, because otherwise, and then as well as like, they say, oh, I'm open to seller financing. Okay, well, what are your immediate cash needs, right? Like how much money do you need right now? Instead of asking how much do you want down, because so then you have to have the number in your mind of what do you think it could sell for. So if it's 500 and they say I want 20% down, then they're asking for 100,000 down, right? 100,000 down. I mean, yeah, I mean, so the seller financing, the thing about those is like if you're going to, unless you are planning to buy them and handle them yourselves, meaning not assign it to an investor, most people, once you start creeping up past like 10%, 15%, then they're just like, well, what's the appeal of them? What's the appeal, right? They could just go to the bank for that money. The idea of seller financing is that I can get into a property for less than what I could effectively get into one. Now, obviously, there's the appeal of, right, I don't have to qualify, I don't have to go to the bank, and that's all well and good. But for a serious end buyer, they're going to have the ability to go to the bank if they really wanted to, right? So the appeal has to be, I don't need to go to the bank. I don't need the red tape. I can just get into this deal for X dollars, right? So, and also, in those cases, right, not only is it the cash down that you have to produce, closing costs, and then, any repair costs. So you would still need all of the same information that you would for like a wholesale deal, right? So do you have all that information and everything to like,
I mean, I can get it. I can get it. One seller I talked to earlier, he has no mortgage, and he said from my understanding that the property doesn't need much repairs, just a paint job. He has tenants currently occupying it.
okay.
And I can, like I said, I told him I would call him back because I'm not really sure on how to structure, some type of financing, creative financing, seller financing deal. So I told him I would call him back if I could retrieve information on it. I talked to somebody about it, but he's interested in me asking. From what I looked at, a little bit, maybe, and I don't know if these numbers are accurate. I'm not really too proficient with comps.
Sure.
But I'm thinking he's asking a little bit, like maybe 30 less than what the normal market price would be.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing, like, I would say rule of thumb for like an investor, you want to have multiple exit strategies. So if there's tenant inside, I would say even more of a margin as far as, okay, let's say the property is worth 500,000. They want to make sure that if the note gets called due, well, in the seller financing scenario, that's not a problem because there is no bank involved. So the note being due is not a problem. So if there's no mortgage, that's cool. Then if it's a true seller financing, meaning there is no bank loan, then you can actually work his price and say, okay, well, if I'm going to give you the price you want, then I got to get my terms. I got to get them the way that I need them, right? So, that would look like, make sure you want them to agree to principal only payments, maybe a 12 to 18 month moratorium on the first payment. You want to subordinate, their equity in a lien position that's behind the private money lender if you use private money. I mean, all these types of little nuances are going to be the things that it's like the number they want is fine, but all the stuff that you're trying to iron out are these different little nuances, right? Because if you have ironclad paperwork, that's really what that's the appeal for a seller finance. If you're going to assign to an investor, right, is this paperwork solid to where my money's safe if I have to sell or whatever, is my lien position, appropriate, whatever the different things is that you got to have in there, so every scenario is different. And so like, that's why, as well as all the information you need for a wholesale deal is similar and the same, but you also need somebody that actually needs money, because if not, then it's just they're not going to be willing to do the terms that you need. And in which case you're not, unless you're buying it yourself and you're like, hey, I feel comfortable with these terms and like, I want to keep this is good cash flowing property, right? But if you're going to assign something like that, right, the terms that you're going to need are going to be pretty aggressive. So I feel like there's a lot of people out there that think it's as simple as, I mean, it is simple, right? It's just all about the right language and having them agree to it. But most of the time, those contracts and stuff that you write up, they're heavily in favor of you, and they're not really in favor of the seller. So that's why, in order for you to get a good one, they really have to have a reason to sell it still, right? So do these people, in your opinion, have a reason to sell the property, or they're just like, yeah, I'd like to sell it?
I think they more or less, I just want to sell it. I don't think they really have financial strain or they're in a position where they're motivated or enticed by some type of stress. They just really probably just want to get rid of it.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes that's enough. Sometimes that's enough, right? Doesn't necessarily need to be financial strain, right? But it does have to be some pain or strain, because most people have equity in it. So why wouldn't they just sell it? Maybe they make a little less, but they don't have to deal with the concern of it. But anyway, I mean, I'm happy to structure those deals and look at those deals with you, but I respectfully, it's tough to do these hypothetically. I really need the hard data in order to.
So you got to tell me what you need, and I'll try to get it.
So I need mortgage information. I need either a mortgage statement, and if they don't have one, that's fine.
Yeah, they don't have one.
Okay, cool. So then I just need the numbers of what they want, and I mean, just figure out what their immediate cash needs are. And then, I mean, because we could, okay, so let's do some hypotheticals then. If it's a true seller finance, how much does he want?
One seller, he wants around 140, and I think the property is I think it comps out, I think at like 180.
180.
And I think ARV would be like 180, but he wants like 140.
Let me see if I can. Okay, so it comes out at 140. He wants 180. Okay, how much cash?
No, he wants 140. He wants 140, and it comes out at about 180.
Gotcha. So you have some equity there. Cool. Do you know how much he's asking for down?
I didn't ask him, and like I said, I wasn't sure on how to structure the deal, so I didn't really ask him on front what he's asking. But I just wanted to make sure that he was open to the idea, and that he's open to it.
Yeah.
So I didn't find out that. But I have his number, so I can text, call him, and get the information easy.
Yeah, I mean, so I would say, well, how long are you comfortable holding the note, right? How long, basically, how long will you give me to pay you out, right? Do you need any cash now? Yeah, I need some cash now. Okay, well, what are your immediate cash needs? What are you going to do with that money, right? Have that conversation.
Okay.
I wouldn't bring up any of the interest or anything like that. But once we find out how long he's comfortable with, what the repair level is, some photos, right? You gotta have a way to inspect it, or at least have some photos to get an idea, right? But I mean, we're not gonna. I wouldn't say that that's a hang up, but in theory, right? How are you gonna know? You got to talk to him about an inspection, right? How do I know that the repair costs are this? Like, what am I inheriting, right? Because you're going to cover, in these situations, the end user is going to be covering the taxes, the insurance, and possibly major repairs and stuff like that. So, you got to know what's wrong.
Well, this is what he told me. He said it has a new roof. He said the roof is only a couple of years old. He said the windows he installed are 5 years old. He converted it from oil to gas, which he did about 2 years ago. Okay. He said it has granite, and he said the only thing you might need is a paint job. I guess because the tenant's been in there for a while. He said the tenants, they pay on time. Never had an issue with the tenants. He said this might be normal wear and tear just from occupation of the property by a tenant, and that's the information I retrieved offhand immediately from him. And I think he said he's even willing to do some type of deal up to 2 years. I mentioned the idea of 2 years. I said, you might hold some type of note or something for 2 years. And he said, okay, sounds fine to me. He said, we'll take a look at it. That's what he said. So
I would need rental, you need rental agreements because you need to know what you're inheriting. You need to know what they're paying. You need rent roll or lease information and expenses. I need an expense sheet. What are you getting?
Expense sheet.
Yeah, expense sheet. Yeah, definitely the information about the tenants. When are they leaving? What do their leases look like? You need those. And then I would get, you would want to get a quote for painting something there. I mean, you could go get a call somebody for a general quote, whatever. So you can at least have that number in there so you can cook that into your numbers. And then also, what city is this in?
This property was in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Okay, so you're still in Connecticut, huh?
Yeah, I told you this is on the list I pulled. I told you.
Oh, that's right.
Before I signed up.
That's right. So Waterbury, let's see. Okay. All right. Is this the city we were looking at the other day? No, it's not. Because we were
No, that was Norwich.
Got you. So it's got 115,000 people. So good city. All right, cool. All right, yeah, you can definitely do something there. All right. Yeah. And then like I said, the expense sheet should include taxes, any repairs, stuff like that. Any expenses that are annual, anything that's set, anything he pays for. Do you pay for the utilities or the tenants pay for it? And then once you have all that information, then, because you want to make sure the property can cash flow. And you want to make sure that it doesn't need like a whole lot of major work, right? Because the idea is someone's trying to get in this for little and then either refi out or do whatever they want, get the tenants out and, sell it on the market, get a contract for deed, whatever the case. So, you got to get that info. And then once then you just start structuring deals. Say, okay, I'll give you the price you're asking, but principal only payments. So you start with that. And then he's like, no, I need some interest. So then you go, well, you just start bumping up from there until the numbers don't make sense. And then you're like, well, it doesn't make sense, right? At that point. So, yeah. So take a peek at those numbers or get that info. And then do you ever get on the calls with Scott in the morning?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I said, do you ever get on the calls with Scott in the morning?
What time was it in the morning? I was looking and I seen yesterday he was on the call, but it seemed like he hung up earlier, terminated the call or something.
Yeah. So he's around 10 o'clock. Then this one goes on at 1. So yeah, I mean, catch us in either one of those, and we'll look at that. And then, did you see the part about filling out the job form and how to do that? You know how to do all that?
I looked at it. I'm not really too familiar with the process, but I'll look at it again.
So in the all-in-one, you have access to this. So this is the information we're gonna need, right? I don't want to go through it all, but this is like you fill all this out because it's all the information. I mean, fill it out to the best, right, as your ability. And then in addition, right, this is just a standard like information about a property in general that any buyer is going to want to know, what's the condition of the blah, 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 blah. But all the other stuff additional that I asked you is going to be important for a creative deal.
Got it.
Cool. Awesome. All righty. I like it. So,
all right. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, let's look at those tomorrow and hopefully we can cook something up that works. All right.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Talk to you.
Yeah.
See you guys.
So people keep getting text messages from my number from Karen, and then when Jeff picks up, they get upset. They're like, "Why do I get text messages from Karen and then Jeff picks up?"
Karen is a cold caller. Yeah, I don't.
It's the text messages that pisses them off because the text messages show, from what these people tell me, the text messages give them all the information, like their name, their address, all of that, saying Karen's name. And then when they call me, I have no address. I have no nothing, and on top of that, it said Karen, and I'm Jeff. So when you get where I'm coming from,
Yeah.
like this is a scam. I just keep hearing that all the time. I know I told you yesterday something about that, but now I remember that they keep saying some Karen. Yeah, fucking Karen. Who the fuck is Karen? Why am I getting the Jeff now? It'd be different if it was like, if it was a guy at least, I'll just take the guy's name. But it's a Karen. They were like, "You're a Karen? You don't sound like a Karen."
Like, yo, what the bump?
Yeah, some guy right now, Dirk, was pissed off. He was like, "I'm not understanding this. It makes no sense. How a Karen is texting me. Now I'm speaking to a Jeff."
Like, jeez. Okay.
It was tight, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to see some proof. I was like, "All right, man, I'm gonna send you my company info." I'm not sending them shit though.
State issue file ID. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Corey basically just was like, I mean, bro.
I mean, it'd be nice if that text message was at least like, with a guy's name. Hello?
Please leave your message for.
Yeah, it'd be nice if that name was at least a guy's name, and then I'll just act like that guy. That wouldn't matter, Hey, Sean. Oh yeah, I'm Sean or whatever.
That's true.
Michael, I'm Ricky.
Well, I mean, it is a woman, right? That calls you.
Yes, yeah, woman. So I can't really act like I'm her.
Yeah, it's Kevin.
It's Kevin over here. It's the hormones. Hormones are getting to me.
All right. Well, I'm not sure how to fix that, but
yeah, just bringing it up to your attention.
I appreciate it. What's that, man? Hold on one second. I'll grab it. Oh my god.
Yo, Sean.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Okay, fixed the lead and the opportunity. So I don't know where Ricky's at. He's not in any of the feeds.
Okay.
But here's the lead. Cleaned it up a lot.
Okay.
Property info, the stuff we talked about.
Beautiful.
Opportunities. I just added the property info down at the bottom.
Perfect.
Nice and clean.
Love it. Yeah. There was so much trash. Yeah. Perfect. Well, he ought to be fist pumping about that.
Huh?
You ought to be giving us a fist pump for that. Oh, dude.